You're live.
Carter Yates, Dave Campbell's Texas Football here with Waxahachie head coach Shane Tolleson. And Shane, what is the DFW Coaches Clinic like? For guys who've never been here, this is my first time. Like, why is this such a cool opportunity?
Well, first off, Texas high school football is a fraternity. It's a unique deal. You don't really realize that until you go out of state. You coach. I coached out of state for 10 years, and then coming back and recruiting my home state and just understanding how powerful the brotherhood here is here, and it really is. And it's so good because I feel like in this state where the money gets put into it, the support that you have, and it draws the best coaches from out of state to this state. But the profession that's here, the Texas High School Coach Association, what they're doing to bring the integrity to it and the being first class, it makes it special. And I just encourage all the guys on my staff. I know it's tough to get guys out of athletic periods on Friday to get over here, but I do encourage them. I pay for all of them to come over here to grow in this. I think this is a place that people think it's just about communication, but it's relational. It's you haven't seen a guy in a long time. I just met a guy from Arkansas a while ago that I knew that logo, and he's looking for a job, and just his demeanor. I told him to call me if I ever have something open. Just you never know in this profession, these vendors, man, and the relations you have, and there's no place like it.
Now, you might be running into a lot of coaches from District 11 6A, the District of Doom. You guys play, it's Duncanville, DeSoto. It's such a tough district for y'all. How does that prepare you, make y'all a better team for the playoff?
It does. You're not going to, in my opinion, speak the game. It's so fast in this league, and it helps you. Sometimes it hurts you because you're not healthy, going in. I want to credit to all this district. Some of us get a bad rap of we just got talent, it's not coached. There's a lot of coaching going on in this district. My hat's off to everybody in this league, and some of their records don't reflect how good of coaches they are, and because it's hard, it is. But the big thing is you feel good about when you get out of it, if you can get out of it. But hopefully, the big thing for me as we grow at Waxahachie is to have the depth in this league to play moving forward.
You mentioned the talent in this district. For you guys, very talented team. It starts with Jerry Meyer, your quarterback. He was a Nevada record holder for 58 touchdown passes as a freshman, had an outstanding sophomore year. I mean, how's it kind of feel for you as a coach having 2 more years with him, and what do you want to see him grow in?
Well, it was fun when he got there because I felt like he was listening to everything we said. My offensive coordinator, Scott Reynolds, was coaching him. We felt like he was hanging on every word. Well, now he goes and breaks Waxahachie passing record, 2,000-yard receivers. Now we're coaching him. Hell, he knows everything now. So he's hard to coach, but I'll tell you what, man, what an incredible – he's better human than he is a player. He comes from a great family. And he's embracing, obviously, this level of competition. That's all he heard when he got here, that Mr. 2A can't compete and to do those things. But here's the deal. Last year. This thing only gets better as we go, and you got to play every week in this league to have a chance.
And one of his best receivers, Cohen Brown, has just been blowing up on the recruiting radar. For college coaches that are trying to recruit this guy, what are they getting in him?
A guy that hates to lose more than he loves to win. He really does. When someone either covers him or he plays corner some and they beat him, it's not because they did something right. He internalizes that he did something wrong. He wants to improve. He's hungry to be the best player he can be, and that's what's going to give him a chance because, I always respect players no matter how they act on the field on game day. When I watch them at practicing hard. When you come to work, I promise you, Jerry Meyer, Cohen Brown, those guys are one of the hardest workers there.
And another big-time recruit, Jaquan Snell. He's a safety for you, but can play some wide receiver too. What kind of growth did you see from him, freshman to sophomore year?
Man, I know he looks 42, but he's only 17, and a 180 from his freshman and sophomore year. He comes from, if you know Waxahachie and you know the last name Snell, you know the bloodline and the rich from his brother Kennedy, and this is the whole family. His dad, I got a younger brother of his. It's a freshman. Okay. Y'all going to be talking about him in a couple years. It's just that whole family. But I'm proud of what he is. He is going to play some receiver. And he's embraced that. And I think it only helps him at the next level too, to be projected in more positions than just one.
And I know, Coach, you've got a hell of a linebacker on your team that's actually your son. What's it like coaching your kid? Is that a new thing for you? Is this something? How do you work through that? Being a coach with your son out there.
It's hard. Nobody understands it. I didn't understand it working with Dave Hennigan. with his sons, you don't know until you go through it. And shout out to Blake Gideon for being being authentic with me in my office about his relationship with his dad. So all the coaches' kids out there, tip my hat.
Yeah. And Coach, what's it going to do, like for Waxahachie, to take that next step? You're such a competitive program right now. But in that playoffs, like, what do you think are the final few pieces y'all need to really go far and make a state run?
It's all up front. It is. I feel like we can compete skill wise year in, year out here. And it starts with me. It starts with culture. It starts with just trusting the process with our kids. But here's the deal: when you get in 11-6A Division I, when it gets into round 3, round 4, it's all front. It's all up front. The depth up front, the size up front, to be able to run the ball. And the last times we've been to those 2 games in the regional quarterfinals, we struggled to run the ball. And to win it all, you got to play great defense. And you got to be able to run the football and take your shots when it's time to take your shots. And in those 2 times, we haven't been able to do it. To get to the next step, it helps to have a duty running back, but you got to be able to block those D linemen and the O linemen that you're going to see in those 4,000 enrollment, 5,000 enrollment. As you go up in 6A Division I, we're still hanging at 3,000. No excuse. We're going to spot the ball and play anybody anywhere, but you got to be able to block them as the higher you go up.
It's one of the best districts in Texas. Waxahachie, one of the most talented teams in Texas. Looking for another playoff run from these guys. It's Coach Shane Tolleson. I'm Yates signing off with Dave Campbell's Texas Football.